Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully get that 6 ID data, but right now that is the same data is visible. It's because of all I simply loaded that one of the HTML. That means one of the HTML tag, right? You can see that is our HTML, one of the static code. Now that this div is visible. So here that will be looped for the 6 time because in our JSON data, there are the 6 data for the bicycle. Now you can see it's display as a 6. So now step by step I want to do to make it as a dynamic. So our procedure will be just like that same before. Here I want to add some of the identifier, and first of all I want to call all that identifier, then I get all the data and I replace all that our server data in here. Okay, so that is a simple procedure. Now we have to flow. First of all I want to go to our, right now we don't need this, I close it. And now into go to that our v main, right? So that is our total div. So here you can see there is one of the images, there have some of the name, there is also some of the name, and there is a ID. And after that ID, that will be our dynamic one, right? Because here when you actually check it, like if you change that ID 0 to the 1, then it's get that our 1 ID all the data. Right, when you make it as a 2 or 5, then it's get that our 5 ID data. So here also we have to pass our ID. Okay, so that means ID will be dynamic right now. So step by step I want to do that work. Like for the images, I want to call this type of one of the identifier. I copy it, and now in our main, okay, that means in our main, and then the d main. Here I simply added one of the identifier for the images. That will be another identifier for the name. I name it as a name. Okay, that will be the name. And also here I want to better copy, that will be display that name. Okay, I name it as a name, and then this part will be obviously dynamic. For the reasons here I want to make it as a one of the identifier as a ID. Okay, so after that will be as our ID, and after that there is a rating. So that is all that static data, and here you can see statically it's display as a checked. So when that will be as a check, that means that is our fill up. That means if you go our home page, you can see now there is a checked as a 1, check 2, and check 3. So that is the our checked and 1, check 2, and check 3. Okay, so here this checked I will actually manage it from our server. So for the reasons in our check position I want to add another identifier. Okay, I simply close it, and that will be one of the identifier. I just name it as a star. Okay, I name it as a star. Also I want to do the same things for rest of all that our star. That means all that our star icon, that is another one. I want to add another one, and also I want to add another one. Okay friend, and then there is our another one. Okay, that means here I want to add another identifier. I paste it, and also I paste it. So that will be another identifier. Here I want to use it. I just name it as a new price. Okay, that will be as a new price. And then I want to make it as a, that will be the old price. Okay, old price. So this type of the identifier, and percentage we will manage it from our server right now, which is totally fine. Okay friend, I hope every part is very much clear to you. So now that's all the data, we'll manage it from to the server, and dynamically we will update all that modifier. Okay, so if you want to do that work, we have to go to our index, and into this index I have already created the bicycle. You can see that is a bicycle, so I have already get this data, and that is all. Before I have already used that as a replace, and that will be just like that same. So better I want to do this part, I want to call it with one of the function, then we can actually use it multiple time, right? So for the reasons here, better I want to simply select all. Okay, I simply select this position, and I want to cut it. Okay, I want to cut it from here with the Control X. I simply cut it. Here I will actually load one of the function. So I want to create one of the function. Okay, after this I want to create another function, that will be as a function keyword, and I just name it as a replace template. Yeah, replace template. This type of one of the function I simply created, and into this function area I simply paste it. Okay, I simply paste it. So now here also we have to pass 2 of this parameter. Okay, here I want to pass one of the parameter as a HTML, and also I want to pass another one as a bicycle. Okay, cycle, that will be as a bicycle. And after that I want to simply return it. Okay, that means the return our this HTML. Okay, I simply return that things from here. So I have already cut it from our one place, right? Now into this place area I want to load our this function. Simple work, I copy it, and also here we have to pass that HTML and then bicycle. So I simply copy it. Okay, I simply copy both of these. Okay, simply copy it, and now if you go from particular this position I cut it, right? So now here I want to declare one of the HTML, and then I want to do that will be as a our function name as a replace template, and with this replace template area here I pass two of this parameter, one of the HTML, another is the bicycle. Great. Now our this functionality will be loaded in particular that area. I hope friend you already know about this part. We did this type of work a lot of the time. So now that should be loaded in here. So now into the home page, okay, into this home page I have already get that our 6 data, right? I have already get all that our 6 data, and also here you can say before I replace it our main div. So now I want to do before I get all that our data here, that is actually our index data. You can see I have already get that our all that index data for our home, right? Into this home area that will be one by one loop all the data, and I take it with this all data bicycle. So into this position now I want to run our this method, okay? Because into this method area what exactly I have done, into this method area we'll get all that our identifier, right? Identifier as the image, name, the new price. So I have already before get these images and the names, so our image and the name will be the same because that same data is visible. Like here that is our image, that is our name. So if you go to the details page you can see there is the same image should be displayed in here, and that will be as a name, right? So I have already get that images, name, and then the price. So right now here we don't need to run code this again because that is all that our identifier area. So here I want to replace it with this, okay? So our template as a replace template, I will copy it, and now in our this position, okay, here I want to replace it with our here I'm better make it as a replace template. Into this function area I have also passed two things, right? Into this there is the two parameter. One parameter I have passed, one parameter I have passed it as a HTML, another I pass it as a bicycle, right? So now here all the data in our which place, all the data right now that is our template, and into this template right now that will be our all main data, because here I want to replace it, so that will be our all main data. So after that will be our HTML, right? And also after that will be our bicycle. Bicycle means you can see I have also passed another one as a bicycle. So bicycle means our which data, our JSON data. So I have already get that our JSON data. I take the things with this variable. Now that will be our bicycle. Okay, there is another parameter. I simply pass it. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So now into this bicycle area, into the JSON area, which data I want to visible? I want to visible that as a index data, right? So that will be on the index data. I simply loaded that index. Okay, so that will be our display our index data. Also step by step all that index one by one I want to add it in here. So that will be now loaded, should be now click as a save all, and now if you go, now that should be updated dynamically. Click as a refresh. Yes, you can see it's now successfully updated all that our data. That is our 0, that is a 0 ID images, 0 ID name is visible. That is a 1 ID images, and the name is visible. That is a 3 ID. You can see it's perfectly get all the dynamic data. Great. So you can see there is identifier old price is not executed because here I didn't update this old price, because in our function, into this function they have the 3 file, right? One is the images, name, and then the new price. For the reasons our price is also dynamic. You can see there is a different type of price for our different type of ID, and that is all that our JSON ID, right? JSON ID all the data. So now I want to display our this old price. If you want to display it, old price means if you go to the JSON data, and that will be our original price, right? So that is our original price I want to display. So I copy it, and now in our index better I want to copy another one. Okay, copy it, and then here I want to paste it. So that will be replaced in our which place, that will be replaced the name. I name it as a old price, right? So that will be as a old price. I copy it, and now our identifier name will be as the old price, and with this old price area here now that will be changed. I have already get that everything with the bicycle. You can see before that bicycle I have used that images, that name. So now with this bicycle, okay, right now here we don't need this. I want to remove it, and with this bicycle I want to access our JSON data field name, or JSON data field name as a original price. Okay, now that should be display our original price. Now if you want to check it, click as a save all, and now if you go, now if you refresh it, Now you can see it's now display our original price. Okay, so that is our display original price. Great. And after that main amount, if you want to add that as a like as a 2 decimal, you can also add it, but I have already discussed about that things with you, how to do this work. So for doing this, I want to do, and that is our total price, right? After that price, I want to add that as a dot and then 00. Now our price will be different. Now click as a save all. Now go there, click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see there is a price and then dot and then 2 decimal character. Great. And also there is another as a old price, right? That means whole price I want to do. If you want to add some of that dollar sign, then what exactly here we have to do, like simple, but I make it into the with the string with the back tag. Okay, with this back tag I want to do, and to make it as it, first of all, that will be as a our dollar will be display, and then that is our functional dollar, right? Here I want to pass that our in our curly bracket area, I want to pass that our bicycle. Okay, right, that means that will be now perfect. So now that should be display one of the dollar sign. Now if you click as a save all, now go there, click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's not successfully display the dollar sign. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear. And so this total part is done. And also right now one things we have to update, that is our percentage we have to update, and also you have to update that URL. You can see if you click it, now you can see it's now redirected to this page as a file not found. But so here if you pass any ID like as a 4 ID, click as a enter, then it will be get this data, right? So now we have to update this ID. So if you want to do that work, and also another part we have to do for the percentage, but I want to do and to continue this process. In our next video I will complete this project. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.